I never imagined my own sister could betray me, but she did. On my wedding day, in front of everyone. She revealed my biggest secret. And I couldn't believe the shock in my fiancé's eyes. Let me take you back to where it all began. I had spent 9 months planning this wedding. 9 months of color swatches and vendor calls and seating charts that never felt quite right. I wanted it to be perfect. Not because I was a bridezilla, not because I needed validation, but because for the first time in my life, I felt like I was building something that was truly mine. My fiancé Daniel was the kind of man who made me believe in second chances. He was steady where I was anxious, patient where I was impulsive. When he proposed, kneeling in the rain because he couldn't wait another minute, I cried so hard I couldn't say yes for a full 30 seconds. He just laughed and held me, getting soaked, not caring at all. That's the kind of love I thought I'd found. And my sister Claire was supposed to be the one who celebrated it with me. She was my person, my built-in best friend. We'd shared a bedroom until I was 14 and she was 12. We'd fought over clothes, covered for each other's lies, stayed up late whispering about our dreams. When our parents divorced, we held each other and promised we'd always have each other. I meant that promise. I thought she did too. The wedding planning started out like a dream. Claire flew in from out of state for dress shopping. She sat in that little velvet chair, clutching a mimosa, and when I stepped out in the gown, she burst into tears. "You look like a princess," she whispered. "He's going to lose his mind." I twirled in front of the mirror, and for a moment, everything felt exactly right. She helped me pick the flowers, peonies, my favorite. She argued with the caterer when they tried to upcharge us. She stayed up late with me making playlists and addressing invitations. She was everything I needed her to be, but somewhere along the way, something shifted. It was small at first, a look that lingered too long, a comment that landed strangely. I'd catch her watching Daniel during the engagement party, her expression unreadable. When I asked if she liked him, she laughed too quickly. "He's great," she said, "really great. You're lucky." The way she said lucky made my stomach tighten. I pushed it down, told myself I was being paranoid. Weddings make everyone crazy, even the people who love you. The week before the wedding, Claire arrived at my apartment with a bottle of wine and a smile that didn't quite fit. "Last week of freedom," she said, holding up the bottle. "We should celebrate." We drank and talked and laughed, and for a few hours, everything felt normal again. But as the night wore on, I noticed her watching me, studying me, like she was looking for something she hadn't found yet. "What?" I finally asked. She shook her head. "Nothing. Just, are you sure about this?" I blinked. "About Daniel? About all of it." She swirled her wine. "Marriage is forever. That's a long time to keep secrets." My chest tightened. "What secrets?" She laughed lightly, waving her hand. "I don't know. Everyone has secrets." "I'm just saying, forever is a long time to hide." I should have asked her what she meant. I should have pushed. But I was tired, and it was late, and I told myself she was just being weird because she was losing my sister to marriage. I told myself a lot of things that week. The morning of the wedding, I woke up before dawn. My heart was pounding, but not with nerves. Something felt wrong. I couldn't name it, couldn't place it, but it sat in my chest like a stone. Claire was already awake when I came downstairs. She stood in the kitchen, staring out the window, her back to me. "Couldn't sleep either?" I asked. She turned, and for a split second, her face was naked. Raw. Something flickered there that I didn't recognize. Then it was gone, replaced by her usual smile. "Too excited," she said. "Big day." I nodded, but something about that moment stayed with me. The way she looked at me. The way her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. The hours that followed were a blur of hair and makeup, and people telling me I looked beautiful. Claire stayed close, adjusting my veil, fixing my lipstick, playing the role of the perfect maid of honor. But I noticed things, the way she kept glancing at her phone, the way she excused herself right before photos, the way she whispered something to one of the bridesmaids, who looked at me with wide eyes and then quickly looked away. I told myself to breathe. To focus, today was about Daniel. About us. Nothing else mattered. Right before the ceremony, Claire pulled me aside. "Last chance to run," she teased. I laughed, but her eyes didn't laugh with me. "I'm not running," I said. "I'm walking toward him." She nodded slowly. "Okay, good luck." Good luck. Not "I'm happy for you." Not "I love you." Just good luck. The music started. I took a deep breath, clutched my bouquet, and began the long walk down the aisle. Everyone stood. Faces I knew, faces I didn't, all smiling at me. My father waited at the end, eyes glistening. And Daniel. He stood there in his navy suit, hands clasped in front of him, and when he saw me, his whole face changed. Lit up, like I was the sun and he'd been waiting his whole life for warmth. I forgot about Claire. I forgot about the weird moments, the strange comments, the tight feeling in my chest. None of it mattered, only him. I reached the altar. My father kissed my cheek and placed my hand in Daniel's. His fingers were warm, steady. "You're here," he whispered. "I'm here," I whispered back. The officiant began to speak. Words about love and commitment and the journey ahead. I barely heard them. I was too busy looking at Daniel, at the man I was about to marry, at the future I could already see unfolding in front of us. Then it was time for vows. I pulled out the small card where I'd written my heart. My hands trembled as I unfolded it. I took a breath, opened my mouth, and then Claire's voice cut through everything. "Wait!" The word landed like a stone in still water. Everyone turned. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Claire stepped forward from her place beside me. She was smiling, but it wasn't her real smile. It was something else, something sharp. "There's something everyone should know," she said. "Before these vows happen." My blood turned to ice. "Claire," I whispered, "don't." She ignored me. She looked at Daniel, then at the crowd, then back at me. "Go ahead," she said. "Tell them. Tell everyone the real reason you were so desperate to get married so fast." The world tilted. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't speak. Couldn't do anything but stand there, frozen, as my sister ripped open the wound I'd trusted her to protect. "3 months before you proposed," Claire said, looking at Daniel now, "she found out she might not be able to have kids. Something wrong with her ovaries. The doctor said if she wanted a family, she shouldn't wait." Gasps, whispers. Faces turning toward me. "And she was terrified you'd leave if you knew," Claire continued. "So she didn't tell you. She rushed this wedding so she could trap you before you found out she might be broken." Broken. The word hit me like a physical blow. I looked at Daniel. His face had gone pale. His eyes were wide, searching mine, looking for the lie. "Is that true?" he asked quietly. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to scream that Claire was lying, that she'd made it all up, that none of it was real. But it was real, every word. I had gone to the doctor alone, gotten the news alone, sat in my car and cried alone. And when I finally told Claire, swore her to secrecy, begged her not to tell anyone until I figured out how to say it myself, she'd saved it. Polished it, kept it like a weapon, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. "I was going to tell you," I whispered to Daniel. I just needed time?" Claire interrupted. "You needed time to lock him down first." The officiant stammered something. People were standing now, confused, uncomfortable. My mother rushed forward, her face a mask of horror. My father looked like someone had punched him in the stomach. And Claire stood there watching me crumble and smiled. Something broke inside me, but not the way she expected. Instead of falling apart, instead of running, instead of doing what she wanted, I went quiet. I went still, and in that stillness I found something I didn't know I had. Rage. Cold, clear, focused rage. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I straightened my spine, looked at my sister, and spoke in a voice I barely recognized as my own. "Thank you, Claire." Her smile faltered. "What? Thank you," I repeated. "For showing everyone exactly who you are." I turned to the crowd. To the confused faces, the whispered conversations, the chaos she'd created. "Everything she said is true," I said quietly. I did get difficult news. I was scared. I didn't know how to tell the man I loved that I might not be able to give him the family he deserves. I paused, swallowing hard. But I was going to tell him. Tonight, tomorrow. Whenever I found the courage. Because that's what love is. Finding the courage. I turned back to Claire. "You," I said, "are a coward. You smile in my face while sharpening knives behind my back. You pretend to love me while waiting for the perfect moment to destroy me. And for what? Because you're jealous? Because you're unhappy? Because watching me be happy reminded you of everything you don't have?" Her face twisted. I'm not finished. The words came from somewhere deep. Somewhere I didn't know existed. "You want to talk about secrets?" I continued. "Let's talk about yours." Her eyes widened. "The summer before college," I said. "When you told Mom and Dad you were at Sarah's house, But you were actually with Marcus. The night you came home crying because he'd gotten rough and you didn't know what to do. Who held you? Who cleaned you up? Who promised never to tell? Claire's face went white. And the credit card debt, I continued. The $5,000 you hid from everyone. Who lent you the money to pay it off? Who kept it from our parents so they wouldn't be disappointed in you? My voice stayed steady. Calm, deadly. The miscarriage, I said quietly. She flinched like I'd slapped her. The one you never told anyone about. Not Mom, not Dad, not even your boyfriend at the time. You showed up at my apartment at 3 a.m., bleeding and terrified. And I held you. I drove you to the hospital. I sat with you for hours and never told a single soul. The crowd was silent, completely silent. I kept your secrets, I said, every single one. Not because I owed you, but because I loved you. Because that's what sisters do. I stepped closer to her. You took my pain, my fear, my most vulnerable moment, and you used it as a weapon on the happiest day of my life. My voice cracked, finally, just slightly. That's not what sisters do. Claire's mouth opened, but nothing came out. I turned away from her. I faced Daniel. His eyes were wet. His hands were shaking. But he was still there, still standing. Still looking at me. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry I didn't tell you. I was scared, I was stupid. He stepped forward and took my face in his hands. I don't care, he said. I blinked. What? I don't care if we have kids. I don't care if we adopt. I don't care if it's just us and a dozen dogs for the rest of our lives. He pressed his forehead to mine. I care about you, only you. Always you. I started to cry. Real tears, finally. I was going to tell you, I whispered. I know. I love you. I know that too. And someone in the crowd started clapping. Then someone else, then everyone. Claire stood alone, frozen, her face a wreck of emotions I didn't care to decipher. Our parents moved past her without a word, coming to embrace me. The bridesmaids wiped their eyes. Even the officiant looked emotional. Daniel took my hand. You still want to marry me? He asked softly. I laughed through my tears. More than anything. He turned to the officiant. Can we finish this? The man nodded, clearing his throat. I believe we were at the vows. I looked at Claire one last time. She stood at the edge of the crowd, isolated, invisible, already fading into the background of a day she'd tried to destroy. I didn't feel sorry for her. But I didn't feel hatred either. I just felt finished with her. With the weight of carrying her secrets while she sharpened knives against my back. I turned back to Daniel, opened my vows. And for the first time that day, spoke only truth. The reception went on without Claire. She slipped out sometime during dinner. No one stopped her. No one followed. I danced with my husband. I laughed with my friends. I ate cake and threw the bouquet and let myself be happy. Later that night, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. I'm sorry. I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed back, I know. But sorry doesn't fix this. I need time. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared, appeared again. Then nothing. I put the phone away and turned to Daniel, who was already asleep, one arm draped across my side of the bed. I watched him breathe for a while. Let myself feel the weight of the day, the near miss, the strange gift hidden inside my sister's cruelty. She'd tried to destroy me. Instead, she'd given me the truth. The freedom of no more secrets. The relief of being fully known and still chosen. I leaned over and kissed Daniel's shoulder. Good night, I whispered. He murmured something in his sleep and pulled me closer. And for the first time in months, I slept peacefully. Claire and I don't talk much now. Sometimes at holidays, we exchange polite words. Sometimes she looks at me like she wants to say more, but the moment passes. I've stopped waiting for an apology that might never come. I've also stopped needing one. Some betrayals break you. Others, if you're lucky, break something else. The false peace, the comfortable lies, the weight of carrying people who wouldn't carry you. I deserved better than what she gave me. And for the first time, I believe it.